Spice Girls. So I always wanted to be like the sixth Spice Girl. But my mum was super into a lot of like heavier music, like AC/DC, Black Sabbath, that kind of thing. So I found her vinyls one day and kind of just started playing them, and she yelled at me because she thought it was going to get me into drugs, and you know, because metal music gets you into drugs. My dad listened to like a lot of top 40, so I kind of listened to a lot of that as well. And then more recently, I started listening to some country, and I actually kind of like it. Like I'm kind of digging the whole country thing, but mostly like to get like my biggest influences when I started were like probably like pop, rock, punk. Big fan of the Sex Pistols, David Bowie, Joan Jett, Susie Quatro, that kind of thing. So cool, thank you. I love your hair. It's super neat.
Kieran, you didn't mention what your Spice Girl name would be.
Oh, it was going to be Curly Spice. Because I had really curly hair as a child. So, yeah. I had like all these gold ringlets, it was Goldilocks, it was funny.
Okay, since there's like a set of twins in the band, like, do your parents like favor one over the other? Like, when they like see you perform, I guess?
No, because they're good parents. Do that to us.
No, not at all, like...
No, I mean, we can take a poop and they'd love it. I mean, they're just happy that we're doing what we love. But good question.
Which one of you is the evil twin?
There's two, actually. There's two. There was actually, there was two other twins, and it was a quad. We murdered another woman. I mean, survival of the fittest. Yeah, so the two evil ones got out.
I've actually got three things, because there are three groups up here and trying to get it all in one trip. So first, for Kieran, it would be awesome if you had like a stand-up panel that you did for one of these cons, because I could just listen to you talk for an hour and a half.
I've definitely, like when I was on tour, I'd get really, really nervous on stage, so I'd start sort of telling jokes and cracking jokes, and then it became part of my set that I would just kind of tell jokes between songs. So I'm thinking about delving into a stand-up comedy panel. So maybe if I come back, if you guys request me back at Youmacon, I'll make sure Youmacon's my first con I do it at. So.
And then for the random gibberish guys, mostly Matt, is it personal that you're not sitting next to Cruz?
No, hold on.
I'm not going to let Crows answer the question. What happened was, I was just informed that this panel existed, so I ran to the room real fast from where I was, which was not here, and I chose the seat closest to this side of the table, which is the furthest seat away from Crows. Crows is like the little brother I never had and never wanted. But he's family, so you have to sit at the same table as family. The rest of these people are more family, you know.
From this, we have learned that Matt is a great liar.
No, there was nothing personal. But thank you for asking the question. You guys are awesome.
And then for SPG, do the robots believe in love?
Lol. They don't have beliefs. They're automatons, and they're programmed to think what they're supposed to think.
As long as people continue believing in love, the robots will continue believing in love.
I sense a lot of songs centered around robot rights in the future. Because, damn, that's racist against robots. Speciesist. Are they species? I don't know. It depends on if they're built like a dog. These are awesome questions, and we're probably going to explore all this sooner rather than later.
No one's ever
taking notes.
Okay, this is a question for the fire draft. I remember seeing videos a while ago of a malfunction that happened at either one or two of your concerts where it was like flashbacks to the war. That was pretty epic. And I was wondering two things about it. Number one, what like made you want to do that? And like why only that one time? Also, do you have any other kind of surprises like that in store for us later?
Good question. That was what you're referring to is the first time we did a war segment during one of our shows. We've only done it twice, so it was in San Diego. The second one was captured on film for Walter Robotics Expo, which is the one on the Blu-ray DVD combo. And then the first one, which you're referring to, which kind of has some flashbacks.
That was mostly, I mean, that was mostly Steve's idea. He
wanted to do something, you know,
I kind of sprang it on a little later on in the game. Like, hey, since you're
you're gonna do this show, can I play on the idea of you guys flipping out and murdering the whole audience? And I'm like, yeah, this show, okay. That's
And
fine."
you know, it was everyone knew it was a show, but it was pretty intense.
There were some younger people in the audience, if I remember, that were pretty frightened.
Yeah, it was really scary. I think it's great. We like to have these moments where we remind the audience that we're robots, and it's oftentimes just quite disturbing. Like even if when we're just shutting off after a song, there's that uncanny valleyness about it. Like, oh yeah, this is a bunch of machines. This is kind of freaky.
I just like the Terminator aspect of it, and just blowing a circuit, and then it's all over for everybody.
And maybe in the future we'll revisit that, but our act is mostly a comedy, and it's lighthearted and family friendly. But we like to, kids aren't dumb or anything.
No one's died yet.
They can kind of understand that it's all for fun. So.
And it was also just kind of my own selfish way of just exploring sound design, because that was a little bit earlier on with my time with these guys. I'm like, I just want to do something cool and creative in the group, and that was what came out of it.
Good question. Thank you.
Real fast, guys. I have to run. Thank you so much for letting me crash the panel real fast.
Yeah.
And it was a pleasure seeing all of you at Youmacon. So,
Aw.
see you soon. And don't trust anything Crow says.
Thank you for coming, Matt.
Now that he's gone, it's my time to play. Oh, you guys are still here.
I actually have two questions, one for just Steve Hard Giraffe and the other for everyone. The first one is for Steve Hard Giraffe. Do you guys ever just randomly get into character in your everyday life? Like you don't mean to, it's just randomly robot moves, and then you're like, oh, what am I doing?
Yes, I do. When I'm walking my dog, and I feel like I'm by myself, just to keep fresh on the moves, I'll walk like a robot or something, until someone's like, "What the heck is this guy doing?" Or I go by.
It's not. I definitely don't just forget that I'm doing it sometimes. I mean, maybe it's in some of my mannerisms, but I haven't been called out on it too much or anything. So I don't intentionally do it, but just practice is the only time I kind of pull it out, just to make sure I can still do it. I think early on it was a lot. I found myself doing the robot a lot more because, you're learning and it's harder to switch it off. But these days I think I move like a normal person when I'm off stage, hopefully.
The second one is yesterday at the panel you said Parasaurolophus, and my friend and I got really excited, and now I'm curious, what are you guys' favorite dinosaurs? Everyone, what are your favorite dinosaurs?
Rose.
Wait, what?
What's your
My favorite dinosaur?
Yeah.
Well, according to Power Rangers, the Dragonzord essentially counts as a dinosaur, I imagine. So, Dragonzord. Am I allowed to drag it? Am I? No? Fine. I'd say my actual favorite dinosaur is the Velociraptor. So,
Git, I was going to say Velociraptor. They're evil! They set traps. They're so intelligent.
They were using the kitchen to eat those kids. That was so
They
smart.
were. They set a trap in that kitchen and nearly ate those kids. They came
Was
very
it
close.
nice?
Plus, they're tiny little smart Tyrannosaurus rexes, so that's kind of badass. Apparently, I used to live in a province in Canada called Alberta, and apparently there's an Albertosaurus because it's a dinosaur that was found in Alberta. So just to be different from crows, I'm going to say the Albertosaurus.
I like Baryonyx and Suchomimus. They're maybe the same dinosaur, but I like them both. I like raptors of kinds. The velociraptors, in reality, they're really small. So, and maybe the Utah raptors or the mega raptors are a little more like Jurassic Park sized. I always like raptors.
I like the one that stands out in my mind from the movie Jurassic Park is the one that didn't actually try to kill anybody. I like the idea of running with Gallimimus, the big running ones, because that was just a cool scene, even though they got eaten by T-Rex. But I really like those guys just because they're friendly ones, and you could maybe ride one or have as a pet and not have to be. Why does everybody want to get eaten by their dinosaur?
I don't want to get eaten by my dinosaur, Sam. I like anything from the Ankylosaurus family, Ankylosaurus itself, and
Euoplocephalus?
Yeah, that one. The ones with the armor and the club tail, those are awesome. You could ride one of those, punch your Gallimimus in the face.
It's not a fighting Gallimimus, it's a running
race, and it'll be a battle race, and I'll knock you over so that
Excellent question.